Hello students, in this lecture I will start a new chapter. Our new chapter is specific legal provisions related to MSME sector. If you see last 3 to 4 attempts, one MCQ is coming from this chapter and one descriptive question is also coming from this chapter. So the combined weightage of MCQs and descriptive question of this chapter in your examination is 9 marks. Small chapter and simple chapter. So before I start this chapter, let me give you a brief introduction about this chapter. See, today for a person, for an individual, for meeting his basic necessaries, that is food, clothing, shelter, and basic medical facilities, he need money. And how he get this money? Legally he can earn this money in two ways. One is by doing some jobs, and second one is by starting his own business. So from an individual point of view, if you observe carefully, so two opportunities are available for earning the money, job and business. Both had its own advantages and disadvantages. If you ask me, advantages with respect to job, no investment required. Just skills, person skills is enough. No investment required. In case of no investment, there will be no risk or less risk. And these two you will find as disadvantages under business. Same points. Heavy investment is required for commencement of the business, and in case of continuous losses, not only his business assets but also personal assets will be at risk. That means unlimited liability. And if you ask me, business, advantages here, advantages are of two types. From government point of view, government will collect taxes. Sir, from job also government will collect a tax. No sir, that is income tax, direct tax. But if you are doing business, government will collect a GST and government will also collect a income tax. And if you start business, you can create employment opportunities. Many unemployed people will get jobs because of your business. And you will be the owner. You are not subordinate to anyone else. You can make decisions. You can fix your work timings. So how much time you will work, that much revenue you can earn in case of business. But coming to the job, the disadvantages. Government point of view, less tax. Getting my point? And you are subordinate to someone. You should listen to that fellow. You can't use your creativity. And working timings are limited. Your salary is also limited. Even if you spend more time, you may get some overtime allowance, but that is not like, in business, whatever you see the growth, that much growth you can't find in jobs. Getting my point? So both the options had its own advantages and disadvantages. Now if you focus on disadvantages of a business entity, I told you investment is required and there is also certain risk is involved. Heavy investment is required. So again, business are classified into two categories. One is small and the other one is big. Big business entities, they will have lot of investment, like Reliance Industry Limited. You see, they started very recently, 2007 I think they incorporated Geo Platforms Limited company. From 2016 onwards they started providing telecom services. For them, investment is not a big risk at all. And almost they are like monopoly in the market. Not monopoly, perfect competitive market is there, but predominant share, significant share was with Geo only. So for big enterprises there is no problem. Only for small enterprises there are many problems. Lack of investment at right times. So considering the small enterprises, government initially in the year 1951 they brought one act, that is Industrial Development Act. The act name is Industrial Development Act. It was brought in the year 1951. In the year 1951 they brought this act. But here, the problem with this act is the main focus is on small industries, regulation of small scale industries. So before MSME, we had Industrial Development Act 1951, Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951. Its main focus is regulation of small scale industries. Just regulation. That means, what are the licenses required, where to get these licenses, regulation part. No financial support, No non-financial support, like marketing support. All these things are not there. All these things are missing in 1951 Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951. So that's why in the 2000, in the 21st century, in the year 2006, Government of India brought a new law, that is MSME 2006, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises. So here, in this chapter, a business enterprise is classified into three categories: micro, small, medium. On what basis classification happens, sir? On the basis of investment and on the basis of turnover. So what are the two financial parameters on what basis enterprises are classified? Investment and turnover. Based on investment and turnover, small, very small, that is micro, above small, that is medium enterprises. And in this chapter we will see the financial and non-financial support to MSME. Financial and non-financial support. Financial support, like you will get incentives, you will get subsidies, you will get instant credit facility, like this. Non-financial support means guaranteed purchases. From you we will procure some 25% of the requirements. So every year, say for example, IOC purchases, except crude oil, remaining purchases by IOC is some 10 lakh crores. Out of the 10 lakh crores, 25%, that means 2.5 lakh crores procurement will be done from MSMEs only. So guaranteed procurement policy. Instant redressal of grievances. Like you have been stuck at a position, you have been stuck at a point where you are unable to continue business operations. So those kind of situations, this law will deal and you will get immediate relief. I'll tell you two popular schemes under MSME. One is PM EGP, Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program. Other one is CGTMSE, Credit Guaranteed Fund Trust for Micro Small Enterprises. So PM EPG. So if you are starting any business entity, because of this, if you are able to generate some employment opportunities, you will be given subsidies. CGTMSE, you will get unsecured loans at cheaper rate of interest only. Unsecured loans. Why? Because today for any business entity, finance is a blood. Without blood a person cannot survive, and without finance any business entity cannot run. So this finance is of two types: own, debt. Debt you will get it from banks. Banks, before giving any loans, first they will check security. So which asset you are going to provide as a security. Against that security only we will give you loans. But a small business entity not having much assets, not having tangible assets, due to secured loans concept, will they get finance from the banks? No, not at all. So that's why government brought a scheme called CGTMSE. So this scheme, it enables banks to give unsecured loans to the small business entities. Unsecured loans. And the scheme highlight is 85% of the loan amount, government will provide insurance facility. Government will provide insurance facility for 80%, 85% of the loan. That means what? Tomorrow, if any MSME unit taking a loan from bank and unable to pay that amount because of business failure, don't worry, 85% of the loan amount government will reimburse. Government will pay to the banks. So by this, banks stood in the safe position, and banks started giving finances to the banks started financing these small enterprises. Everyone. So that's it. So CGTMSE, where you will get unsecured loans at cheaper source of finance. And moreover, today if you apply for a loan with a banker, if you want to apply a loan with a banker, normally it take minimum 1 month time for disbursement. Final disbursement of funds, it will take 1 month time. If your project requires, say for example, 3 crores, 4 crores, 5 crores loan, they may take minimum 2 to 3 months for disbursement of the amount. But by the time, lot of business opportunities will be vanished. We need instant credit, then only we can take some risky steps, we can do some unique businesses. Under MSME related laws, you will get instant credit facility. And MSME chapter, this chapter gained too much of significance post COVID only. Post COVID, this chapter, this law gained a lot of significance. Why? Because lockdown, lockdown. Before lockdown, also, this concept is there. GDP, country's power, country's economic growth is calculated in terms of GDP. And in our country, GDP was contributed by three sectors: agriculture sector, industry sector, service sector. And if you see percentage wise calculation, agriculture sector some 20%, service sector some 55% approximately, and balance is by industry. How much it is? Say for example some 25%. When there is a pandemic, or when there is a recession, depression, or global crisis, people will stop taking services. Service sector means what comes in service sector? Predominantly information technology, software. Predominantly information technology comes under service sector. And also logistics, like this. In case of recession, in case of global crisis, who will take IT services? No one will take it, but everyone will take food. So agriculture is never ending sector, and everyone use goods. Services maybe little bit they will consume very less in case of crisis, but goods are compulsory, few goods are compulsory. So we should shift our focus from service to industries. That is the main concept of MSME. Of course, in MSME, what type of business entities are covered? Generally, business means, three things will come under business. One is manufacturing, second one is trading, and third one is service. Under MSME, trading is strictly excluded. Why? Because in trading, what we will do? Buy and sell. Buy and sell. We will buy the goods. Like, you talk about wholesaler, you talk about retailer. What they will do? They will buy in large quantity and they will sell it to the customers. Whereas in manufacturing, you will see some manufacturing process. In service sector, you will see some services like logistics or information technology. So these two should be encouraged. That's why, under MSME laws, you will find only manufacturers and service providers as MSME. Trading units are strictly abolished. Strictly not covered. And we need to finance these people only. If you finance manufacturer, yes, he may create goods. If you finance service providers, they will create some services. Because of this, our country GDP will rise. This is government's positive side. And second thing is creation of employment opportunities. Today in India, lot of employment you will find in agriculture. Almost 40% of the population are dependents on the agriculture sector only. And the second largest employment sector is this MSME only. See, this is a brief introduction. Why MSMEs gain significant importance is this one only. So employment wise, employment sector wise employment distribution: agriculture 42 to 45%, industry 25 to 27%, and service sector balance 28 to 30%. So in service sector, you will find IT, hotels and restaurants, logistics, financial services, yes, nothing but bank loans, education, health and public administration. Zomato, Swiggy, all this comes under service sectors only. Next, industry, manufacturing, construction, mining, electricity and utilities. Agriculture, animal husbandry, forestry, fishing, aquaculture. So majority population, major population was employed in agriculture sector, and equally, some 27% in industry, and some 28 to 30% is in service sector. So our main focus is to develop small, micro and medium enterprises. Let's see. Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006 addressed policy issues, coverage and investment ceilings for MSMEs. It also introduced a legal concept of enterprise covering both manufacturing and service entities. So tell me, trading entities covered or not covered? Not covered. Trading entities may be covered if they come under service sector, like I have shown you right now. So trading, like trading, something should be added in that trading, like packing for example, distribution activities. Wholesaler buying a lot of quantities from the manufacturer, distributing, packing, everything he is doing. Now a little bit service has been added in the process of distribution of the goods. So then comes under service sector, either manufacturing or service. The act facilitates the development and competitiveness of MSMEs, ensuring a statutory consultative mechanism with advisory functions. Key features of the act: establishment of specific funds for promotion and competitiveness, notification of schemes or programs for MSME, credit policy and preferences in government procurement, mechanisms for mitigating delayed payments, a scheme for easy business closure for MSME. See, just now I told you the differences between, old act and new act. Old act, that is Industrial Development and Regulation Act, the main focus is on what? Regulation, granting the licenses. So licensing procedure, regulation you will see. But under MSME, you will find all these things. First one is establishment of specific funds. That means financial support. Initially, we will support you. Notification of the schemes or programs for MSME, credit policies and preferences in the government procurement. I told you, public sector undertakings, minimum 25% of their requirements they will procure from whom? 25% of requirements they will procure from MSME units only. Next, mechanisms for mitigating delayed payments. This is nothing but working capital management. When you collect amount immediately from the debtors, you can use same amount for procurement of raw materials. You can convert raw materials into finished goods. So the business, there will be no stop, continuity will be ensured. A scheme for ease of business closure for MSMEs. So nothing but dissolution, closure of the entities. Sector impact. MSME sector is the second largest employer in India with 3.6 crore units employing 8 crore people. Actually, this figure is outdated. Right now, if you ask Google only, or if you ask ChatGPT, total MSME units in India, approximately 7.39 crore. Ujjam registered units 4 crore 41 lakhs. Ujjam assist platform 2.97 crore. So total MSME 7.39 crore. And total employment in MSME, as per old data, 8 crore people. Now 28 crore people. 28 crore people means 28 crore families. Each family, if you see 3 members or 4 members, 28 into 3, approximately some 80. So that's the significant importance of MSME. It contributes 45% of industrial production, 40% of the exports, 37% of the GDP, with 31% from the services. High dependency on service sector is risky. Why? Because you see Sri Lanka economy, for example. Sri Lanka attracts a lot of tourists. Some 5 years back or 6 years back, terrorist attacks happened in the Sri Lanka. They entered into the church and they killed a lot of people. As a result, what happens? Global tourists, tourists across all the countries, they will not plan for a visit to Sri Lanka. If they are not visiting Sri Lanka, how Sri Lanka generate revenue? From tourism also, they generate a lot of foreign exchange reserves. The same thing happened in our Mumbai also, Taj attack. So the main reason of terrorist attack is to kill the economy financially. If there is no risk for a normal people in India, how our investments will be safe? How we will be safe in that country? Like that, institutional investors, foreign institutional investors will be scared to make invest in India. If there is no investments in India, how our economy will grow? So that is the main reason why terrorist attacks our country. Okay, fine. Next one, MSME definition, classification, type of enterprises, manufacturing and services, manufacturing services, manufacturing services, yes, medium, small, micro. Investment in plant machinery equipment up to 1 crore and annual turnover up to 5 crores, then that entity is a micro. 10 to 50, then that industry is a small. 50 to 50, then that industry, then that enterprise is known as medium. But in 2025, the limits has been increased. The limits has been increased. Annual turnover 2 times they increased. Investment in plant and machinery they increased it to 2.5 times. That means right now micro enterprise means investment up to 2.5 crores, annual turnover up to 10 crores. But as per study material, we have to remember these figures only. Just a second. Latest MSME limits. Latest MSME limits. Yeah, you can see here micro 2.5 10, small 2500, medium enterprise 125 500. That means what? Simply if you want to write, you write like this: investment increase it to 2.5 times, annual turnover increase it to 2 times. These are the old limits, but the latest limit is 2.5 crore 10 crores, 25 crores 100 crores, 125 crores 500 crores. I told you how these enterprises are classified into micro, small, medium based on the investment or turnover, investment and turnover, investment and turnover. And observe carefully, investments I'm talking only about plant, machinery and equipments, but not others. That means what? Tangible assets excluding land, furniture and fittings are considered. Land, furniture, fittings included or excluded? Excluded. Why? Why? Because these are non-productive assets. Non-productive assets. Plant and machinery. I can generate goods. I can produce goods. Equipments necessary for the goods. So you take vehicles as an example. For logistic company, vehicles are important or else they can't provide services. So that is compulsory, will be considered in the part of investment. So which two items are not considered in investment category? Land, furniture and fittings. And in India today land values are increasing exponentially. Land values are rising because supply of land is constant, whereas demand for land is increasing due to rise in population. So obviously land values will increase. Once upon a time 1 acre land means maybe some 1000 rupees. Today 1 acre land means 6 crores. Say for example, one small enterprise is having 1 acre land. In that 1 acre land they are doing production activities. Imagine that acre is 20 crores. Now that means investment to 20 crores means they will fall in which category? They will directly fall in small category. They won't get benefits of micro category. So that's why land, furniture and fittings are excluded. All the remaining assets, that is nothing but plant and machinery equipments, are considered. Next one, turnover also, exports are excluded. See here weightage should be given on the basis of Indian economy. The demand in India, not global demand. If you see exports means what? Sales in India or outside India? Outside India. And we get what currency for exports? Foreign currency. So definitely we get more money on this basis. If you categorize, even though it is a micro, it may be fall in medium category or it may fall in big category. So that's why exports are excluded, and it is always linked to income tax and GST returns. How much is your turnover? We will see your income tax, what is the sale amount you are reporting, or we will see your GST returns monthly, how much you are reporting, total annually, how much you reported. So turnover, how I will determine? Either income tax returns and GST returns. Whereas investment, how I will decide? Based on your ITR or through self declaration. These amounts are determined through your income tax return or self declaration. Coming to investment, coming to the turnover, based on your income tax returns, GST returns. Next one, category transition. If an MSME unit transition to another category or moves out of MSME scope, it retains non-tax benefits of the original category for 3 years. Smooth transition. The main purpose of this point is smooth transition. Say for example, for the time being you are a micro enterprise. You have been given a non-tax benefits, like on the procurements, whatever goods you are procuring, whatever raw materials you are procuring, imagine GST is exempted, and suddenly due to increase in turnover, you have been shifted to micro, from micro to small, where tax benefits are there but little benefits. Say for example here 100% tax benefit is there, whereas under small you are having 50% only. In case of medium, only 25% benefit. If you are not micro, if you are not small, if you are not medium, then there is no benefit, zero benefit. Assume that. Now shifting from micro to small, or shifting from MSME to big industries. Immediate cut off tax benefits I want to do. I'll give you 3 years time period. That means what? Even though your category has been changed from micro to medium or MSME to others, next 3 years you will enjoy same benefits as if you are an MSME unit only. So this ensures smooth transition. Getting my point? See, you take a small kid only, small kid, 6 years kid. If you ask him, come on, go to school, means will he listen to you? If you buy a chocolate, if you go to school, I'll buy a chocolate. Now what you will do? Definitely. So business entities also, we will give you benefits. We will give you benefits. Come and start business units. That's it. It's like a promotional incentives. Next one, formulation of the schemes for promotion and development of MSMEs. Let's see one by one. CG is empowered to issue notifications, guidelines, and schemes for the promotion and development of MSMEs, covering enhancing competitiveness. Enhancing competitiveness, like say for example, uh, production activities only you take. Production activities only you take. How traditionally production activities were carried out? Can we change the traditional approach to modern approach or not? Usage of available machines, usage of available equipments, can we increase our yield or not? If the possibility is there, so trying to enhance our competitiveness, that's what the enhancing competitiveness means. Simply reducing the wastage, optimum utilization of resources. Employee skill development, for this conduct programs to upgrade the skills, conduct programs periodically, weekly once or monthly once, conduct some free workshops. Management improvements, management strategies improvements. Next one, technical upgradation. Today we can't imagine our life without IT, without information technology. We can't imagine our life. Previously, if you see, say for example, morning 8 o'clock, you want to hurry up to the railway station or you want to hurry up to the bus stand. So previously, standing on a main road, calling an auto, negotiating the prices, it takes a lot of time. But right now, Rapido is there. You can fix the fare, you can increase it or you can reduce it. And a lot of service providers around you are available on your device. So that's what, technical upgradation. Next one, marketing assistance. So bringing the goods from the manufacturing location to the market, and how to negotiate with the buyers, potential buyers, everything, marketing support, infrastructure facilities. Say for example, cold storages only. In case of scarce food items, say for example, you take mangoes only, it's a seasonal crop. And if you can't store them in a cold places, what happen? Maybe in a week they will be spoiled. So all your yield will be protected by having some cold storages near to the mango farm areas. Cluster development. Cluster development means arranging small units at one place and making them use of technology. For example, you are having only 1 acre land, for example, only 1 acre land. For that 1 acre land, bringing a tractor, doing cultivation activities, will you plan it, or you will simply go with some 4 labor? You will go with 4 labor. Suppose like this, some 10 farmers coming together, pooling a land of 10 acres. Now, getting these technology facilities, getting this tractor, cultivation in just one day. So, which one is more advantage? Small units, small cultivation better. Pooling them as a one big unit and providing advanced services better. Advanced services is better. That's what cluster development, bringing all the small units to the one location and making them to use of available resources whenever needed. Strengthening backward and forward linkages. Backward linkages means, you being a manufacturer, you need raw materials, supplier will supply raw materials to you. So supplier to manufacturer, manufacturer to customer. Now if I talk about manufacturer point of view, backward linkage means connection with the supplier, forward linkage means connection with the customer. So removing the gaps, that is between supplier and manufacturer, manufacturer and customer. And section 10 ensures smooth credit availability for MSMEs and extension of non-tax benefits. Next one, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. See, non-tax benefit, for example, you take our GST only, or indirect tax only you take. If I talk from Andhra Pradesh point of view, if you are a service provider and you are providing services to the extent of 20 lakhs only, GST applicable to you or not applicable? Not applicable. That means whatever services you are providing, you will charge only your fees, you won't charge tax. If you are a trader or manufacturer supplying the goods, for you the limit is how much? 40 lakhs. Up to 40 lakhs GST applicable or not applicable? That means the product you are producing 80, and if you fix 100 rupees, you can directly sell it 100 rupees. Imagine if you are not a small provider, if you are a, if you are providing a 1 crore worth of goods and services, now you need to add what? GST. For example, 5% only you add it. Now how much is your selling price? 105 rupees. Now for a small service provider at 100 rupees, for a big service provider 105 rupees, difference is there or not there? Difference is there. It's like encouraging small service providers only. Best example. Next one, role. That's what, the difference is like that only. If you go to a small shop, textile shop only, you take small shop, turnover is less than 40 lakhs, he will charge only product price. If you go with Mintra, if you go with Manyavar, Chennai shopping mall, they won't collect only price amount, they will also collect what? Taxes. Next one, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Yes, to regulate MSME related activities, there is a separate ministry. See, for corporate affairs, we had a ministry, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. For home affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, Home Minister. For finance, Finance Ministry is there. For MSME, Ministry of MSME. Let's see, MSME Ministry of, MSMEs is the highest executive body in India for creating policies and administering rules and laws relating to the MSME. This was created in October 1999 as a Ministry of Small Scale Industries and Agro and Rural Industries. That means there are two ministries. One is Small Scale Industries, this is one ministry, and second one is Agro and Rural Industry, this is second ministry. Due to these two ministries, there is always a conflict, there is a confusion. First ministry bringing some rules, they may be conflict with second ministry rules and regulations. So to avoid this kind of confusion, in 2002, in May 2020, May 2002, all these two ministries were merged into one ministry, that is our current MSME ministry. Functions: designs policies, promotes and facilitates programs, projects and schemes, monitors implementation to help MSMEs scale up. And responsibility: state governments are primarily responsible for promotion and development of MSME. Why? Because state government is so close to the business entities. Central government supports states. That means what? Central government will from time to time they will provide financial aid. They will provide finance by providing initiatives to foster entrepreneurship, employment and livelihood opportunities. So state government direct support, central government indirect support. And central government from time to time they will frame rules and regulations. Salient provisions of MSME Development Act 2006. The act aims to facilitate promotion, development, enhance competitiveness of MSME. Old law focus on regulation of MSME, whereas new law not only regulation but also promotion, development and enhance competitiveness of MSME. See, competitiveness we can define in two ways, from finance point of view. Say for example, in 1 hour, if you are able to file only one income tax return, enhancing your competitiveness means in the same 1 hour, if you are able to file 3 ITRs, your competitiveness is said to be improved. That means increasing the yield. If I increase the yield, what happens? Average cost per unit will come down. If average cost per unit is coming down, I can reduce selling price. I can keep reasonable selling prices. Ultimately, who will be benefited? Customers will be benefited. Next one, covers all the matters connected or incidental to the development of MSME. Scope of this chapter is all the matters connected or incidental to the development of MSMEs. Next point, definitions. In these definitions, these three definitions are very, very important. Entire chapter, the spirit of entire chapter you will find in these three definitions. Appointed day, day of acceptance, day of deemed acceptance. The spirit of this chapter, listen carefully. Appointed day, day of acceptance, day of deemed acceptance. First, day of acceptance. Why? If you see appointed day means what? The day immediately after expiry of 15 days from the day of acceptance or deemed acceptance of any goods or services by a buyer from a supplier. Then what is the day of acceptance? The day of actual delivery of goods or rendering of services. If the buyer objects in writing within 15 days of delivery, the day when such objection is resolved by the supplier is the actual day of acceptance. And what is the day of deemed acceptance? The actual delivery or rendering day if there is no written objection is made within 15 days. So the word 15 days is very much popular here. Let's see first what are all the things. Supplier, buyer, two parties. Supplier, buyer. Listen carefully. Supplier supplied goods or services. The date of supply is, for example, 1st February 2026. Now here you need to take two things. One is any objection from the buyer, no objection from the buyer. Objection means what? Suppose buyer ordered for A grade material, whereas supplier supplied B grade material. Buyer asked for 100 kgs of raw material, whereas supplier supplied only 95 kgs. That means in case of conflict you will see objection. In case of no conflict there is no objection. So two options: any objection from the buyer or no objection from the buyer. If there is no objection, then date of supply is equal to date of acceptance. So that means here date of acceptance is equal to 1st February 2026. And for raising objection, lawmaker is asking you to raise objection within 15 days. That means if you are not raising any objection within 15 days, then we assume there is no objection. So no objection or objection after 15 days. I can tell like this: objection after 15 days. After 15 days of what? After 15 days of delivery of goods, rendering of services. So any objection, it should be raised within how many days? 15 days of delivery of goods or 15 days of rendering of services. For services, rendering of services; for goods, delivery of goods. Objection raised. Now you have to check whether resolved or not. Resolved or not. If objection is not resolved, that means the transaction is cancelled. If objection is resolved, then resolved date will be date of acceptance. Resolved date will be date of acceptance. So what is my date of supply? 1st February 2026. Objection was raised, for example, objection was raised on 10th February 2026 and resolved date is 17th February 26. Now what is the acceptance date? Acceptance date will be 17th February 26. Sir, why this date of acceptance is important, sir? Why? Because if you know date of acceptance, you can calculate appointed date. Sir, why appointed date is important, sir? Array, my dear buyer, if you pay money to the supplier on or before appointed date, you are safe. Or else you need to pay not only due but also interest. How much is the interest? 3 times of the bank rate. 3 times of the bank rate. So just these examples point of view, one more time I'll give one chart. So date of supply, DOS, date of supply 1st February 2026. No objection, then date of acceptance is equal to 1st February 2026. In this case, appointed date is equal to, what is the definition for appointed date? Let me read. Day immediately after expiry of 15 days. It is not 15th day. It's a day after 15 days. That means 16th day. So simply 1st February 2026 to this you add 15 days. You will get 16th February 26. And they are asking day after. That means 17th February 26 becomes appointed date. Getting my point? Expiry of 15 days from the date of acceptance or deemed acceptance of any goods. Expiry day after expiry of 15 days. So 1st February I will add 15 days. So 16th February 26. Appointed date will be 17th February 26. Suppose there is an objection. there is an objection, and that objection was raised on, objection was raised on 12th February 26. That means it is within 15 days of delivery of goods only, so valid. Then when it got resolved, suppose issue resolved date is 18 February 26, then date of acceptance will be 18 February 26. So in this case, appointed date will be so 19 or 20 2 days, 21 to 8 8 days, so 2 plus 8 up to 5th, 5th next 5th, okay, 6th March 26. February we are having 28 days, 28 days, 28 minus 18 means 10 days there, 5 days in March, day after expiry of 15 days, so therefore 6th March 2026 will be the appointed date. And one more interesting point, demote date of acceptance. You see, demote date of acceptance means actual delivery or rendering the day if no written objection is made within 15 days. That means what? Suppose date of supply is 1st February 2026. For him to raise objection, 15 days is the time period. Up to 16 February 26 if he is not raising any objection. Now come backward, demote date of acceptance will be 1st February 2026. Understood the concept? So timelines, no objection, date of delivery. If there is any objection within 15 days, then issue resolved date will be the date of acceptance. If there is no objection, then date of delivery is deemed to be day of acceptance. To that add 15 days, the next day will be the appointed day. So by this timeline, so in my all examples, if you see 16th February, see 16th February is for what? Ignore. Appointed date 17th February, 6th March 26, 17th February. So like this, if a buyer is able to make payment on or before appointed date, payment of actual consideration is enough. Suppose actual consideration is 1 lakh rupee, payment of 1 lakh rupee is sufficient. Say for example he did 1 month delay. In that case he need to add interest. Interest how much? 1 lakh into RBI rate. Suppose RBI rate is for example 6% we think. Into 3 times into how many months he made a delay? 1 divided by 12. So simply 1 lakh into 6% into 3 into 1 divided by 12. So 1500 rupees interest he need to add. For every 1 lakh rupees he need to add interest of how much? 1500 per month. Once again, I won't explain, but just look at the definitions. The day immediately after expiry of 15 days from the day of acceptance or deemed day of acceptance by a buyer from the supplier is known as appointed day. This is a payment due date, simply payment due date. What is the date of acceptance? The day of actual delivery of goods. If the buyer objects in writing within 15 days of delivery, then the day when such objection is resolved, simply issue resolved date. Issue resolved date. Then what is the day of deemed acceptance? Actual delivery or rendering day if there is no written objection is made within 15 days. Simple concept. Next one, advisory committee. What is the purpose of this committee? Advising that MSME Ministry, from time to time advising MSME regarding the benefits to be given to the MSME units. Board refers to National Board for MSME established under section 3. Buyer. Who is a buyer under MSME? Any individual or entity, that means any business entity or any individual customer that buy goods or services from a supplier for consideration. That means samples distribution will not come here. Free samples distribution, if you are taking that if you are taking that products under free sample basis, you will not be treated as buyer. To call you as a buyer, consideration should be involved and you should buy goods or services from the supplier, And then who is the supplier? Supplier here refers to micro small enterprise that has filed a memorandum with the authority. That means not all suppliers. I'm talking about only which suppliers? MSE suppliers. MSME means micro, small, medium enterprises. MSE means micro, small. Sir, why medium was ignored? If you see medium enterprises, what is the classification criteria? Investment up to 125 crores, turnover up to 500 crores. Or this much entity, this much financial parameters containing company entity, can't they give extra credit period? They can give it. Our focus is small units, micro and small. To these entities, if you are making delay, then you are liable to pay interest at the rate of 3 times of the bank rate. Getting my point? So under this chapter, supplier means micro small enterprise filed a memorandum. Sir, filed a memorandum means what? That means you need to file an application with the authority. Sir, I am also an MSME unit only. It's like registration process. If you register yourself with Ministry of MSME and getting the certificate, that is nothing but filing a memorandum. Clear so far? Next, enterprise. Enterprise means industrial undertaking, business concern, or any establishment engaged in manufacturing goods as per the first schedule to the Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951 or providing services. Right now, this act is not there. In the name of this act, in the place of this act, MSME was enacted. Clear? So tell me, appointed date means it's a day after expiry of 15 days from the date of acceptance or deemed date of acceptance. Date of acceptance means date of delivery of the goods. Deemed date of acceptance means that is also date of delivery of goods if there is no objection. If there is no objection from the buyer. If there is any objection from the buyer, then when that issue got resolved, the resolved date will be the date of acceptance. Over. Next one, National Board for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Central government established National Board for MSME with its head office in Delhi. MCQ point of view. Where National Board for MSME was located? Delhi. Head office is located at Delhi. Composition. Just write a point here. Here you'll find representatives from, representation from. Just write this one line. Enough. Representation from government, legislature, that means MPs, MLAs, finance, RBI, banks, industry, labor and MSME units. In composition, you will find representatives from government side, legislature side, financiers, RBI, banks, industries, labor and MSME units. See, what is the speciality of Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly? What is the speciality? Democracy. In democracy, who are the rulers of the country? Public. But what is our population? If you take only eligible, the persons who crossed 18 years of age. In India, total count is 100 crores. That means in this country, how many rulers are there? 100 crore people. Is it possible for this 100 crore population to meet at one place and to make decisions with respect to future? So that's why we are sending our representatives to the assembly at state level, to the parliament at central level. Correct? That means all MPs and MLAs are what? People representatives. And this is the national board for which enterprises? Micro, small and medium enterprises. So here also you will find democracy. So policy making people are there. Policy implementing people are there. Government means policy implementers only. Policy setting people means legislature. And to support MSME units, financial support. Who can provide financial support to? Financiers, RBI, banks. Their representation is also there. And ultimately, because of MSME, who is getting benefited? Labor industries. So people from labor department, people from labor unions, people from industries also you will find. So no one is ignored. Everyone connected with this MSME, all their representatives were there in National Board for MSME. Let's see one by one. Minister of MSME, he is the chairperson ex officio. Ex officio means what? Because of his first designation, he is getting enrolled in the second job. Say for example, you take vice president, best example, and you take Rajya Sabha speaker. Who is the Rajya Sabha speaker? Vice President of India. Right now, imagine Mr. A is Vice President of India. Automatically, he becomes Speaker of Rajya Sabha. Suppose he was removed and Mr. B was appointed as Vice President. Automatically, Speaker also will be changed. So there is no need of second notification. Sir, change in Vice President, no. Now change in Speaker also required or not required. Automatic. Once you change Vice President, automatically Speaker gets changed. Getting my point? So because of your previous designation or because of your existing designation, you are getting this appointment. Now to become chairperson of MSME National Board, I should be a minister. Suppose my government collapsed. Fresh general elections were conducted. This time I was not elected. Mr. X was elected. And Mr. X was Mr. X was appointed as Minister of MSME. Now he will take automatically the position of Chairman of National Board for MSME. And all these people, if you see, majority of these people are ex officios only. Second one, you see, Ministry of State or Deputy Minister. 6 state ministers for small scale industries, MSMEs. 3 members of the parliament. Deputy minister, that's what you see here. Minister, deputy minister, state minister, all these people comes from where? Government side. Whereas 3 members of the parliament, they comes from where? Legislature. Administrator of a union territory, secretary to the government of India for MSME, 4 secretaries to the government of India representing key ministries, that is commerce and industry, food processing, labor and planning. All these people are ex officio. Chairman of the National Bank, Chairman and Managing Director of Small Industries Bank, Chairman of Indian Bank Association, RBI officer, 20 persons representing MSME associations. In the 20 also, minimum 3 should come from women enterprises and 3 for micro enterprises as appointed by the central government. So far we have seen ex officio, but these people are not ex officio. 3 eminent persons from economics, industry, science and technology, at least 1 woman appointed by the CG. That means these people should have a solid background of economics, industry, science and technology. 2 representatives of central trade union organizations. 1 officer from MSME Ministry or department, that is member secretary, ex officio. Now coming to the term of office, if you talk about ex officio members, their tenure continues as long as they hold the qualifying position. Suppose I was appointed as a minister for MSME sector. My tenure is generally 5 years. So once my tenure is completed, automatically I'll come out of the position of chairperson. So ex officio people tenure depends upon their designations, their qualifying positions. Remaining people. So remaining people, there is people appointed by the central government. You can see here, people appointed by the central government. So these people, their tenure as may be prescribed, namely 3 years once, 4 years, 5 years, like that. Meeting schedule, the board, national board shall meet at least once in every 3 months in a year. Like you see, annual general meeting of a company, compulsory yearly once. Board meetings compulsory 4 times in a year. Like that, national board meetings once in every 3 months, that is nothing but 4 times a year. It may associate individuals for assistance or advice as and when required. Now coming to the functions of the board. Sir, why this board was constituted? What are the functions of the board? They examine factors affecting MSME promotion, development, competitiveness. Review, first examine, next review, next make recommendations, last advice. Right now you are seeing Davos meeting, all our state government representatives, state government ministers, central ministers are going to that international global meetings, where n number of billionaires will come. They will check your opportunities, they will listen to your requirements. If they think that yes, here we can generate good profits, we can do business, then they will collaborate with you. They will come and enter into an MOU with the state government. So that's what first, this board will examine the factors that are affecting the promotion of MSMEs, development of MSMEs, competitiveness of MSMEs, and they will review the policies. They will make recommendations on the policies which were referred by CG for MSME development, and finally they will advise the central government regarding the use of the fund. So which sector we should give more funds, which sector should be given more and more priority. Like now you can see metal industry is gaining a lot of importance. So silver prices are going up, gold prices are going up. Tomorrow copper price will also go up. So metals should be given top priority. So metal industry, the enterprises which are falling under MSME with respect to metal industry, they should be given priority. Like that, they can make recommendations and they can advise CG for usage of the funds. If metal industry become popular, you know what happens? USA will lose its significance. China will become strongest and largest economy in this world, which USA President Donald Trump will definitely not like it. The reason is, if metal industry becomes popular, all institutional investors, they will sell USA bonds. They will collect the money, and with that money they will make investments in the metal industry. Now US bonds, dollar significance will be lost, will be gained, will be lost. So Trump sir is eagerly waiting and he is making a policies in such a way that gold and silver rates should be crashed by at least 50%. We don't know whether this happens or not. Wait and watch, that's it. Next one, Memorandum of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. One last point before break. Yeah, memorandum to the MSME. See, this memorandum, filing memorandum is nothing but filing an application in order to get recognition. Simply self-declaring yourself, sir, I am micro industry, I am micro unit, I am a small unit, I am a medium unit. Self-declaration alone is not sufficient. Self-declaration alone is not sufficient. You must be recognized by the government. For that, you need to file an application, nothing but filing memorandum. Any person intending to establish micro, small enterprises or medium enterprises engaged in providing or rendering services, medium enterprises engaged in manufacturing or production of goods, any industry, they must file memorandum with the authority as specified by the state government. But if you see in these 3 points, you'll find optional at the end of first 2 points. That means for micro and small and medium enterprises providing services, again I'm telling you, MSME 2 categories are covered. Which 2 categories? Manufacturing, service. Manufacturing MS, service MSM. For these 3 and for these 2, it's optional. Getting recognition certificate is optional. So for which one getting recognition certificate is mandatory? A medium enterprise. Medium enterprise which is engaged in manufacture or production of goods in any industry. But you know what? Even though it's optional, these people will get recognition certificate. Having MSME certificate, the biggest advantage. One of my client, he's in a hair business. That company will manufacture hair wigs. So one day he went to State Bank of India and he's having a property, a residential building. The market value of this residential building is 3.5 crore. So he explained his business strategy, everything, and he applied for a loan. Sir, I will start this business, but for this I need 3 crores loan. Like that, he made an application. SBI conducted a study, feasibility study. Yes, and SBI thought, okay, this business is good only. And SBI told, yes, we will give you loan of 3 crores. Against a property or without property? Against a property. So this is a secured loan. In case of secured loan, under Transfer of Property Act, that mortgage should be registered. Mortgage should be registered with state government registrar authority. Mortgage agreement requires stamp duty. Generally, stamp duty is 7%, 8%, 8% of the amount involved. So 3 crores into 8%, 24 lakhs. Okay, maybe under industrial zone, maybe under industries, the stamp duty can be reduced to 3%. That case also, 3 crores into 3% means how much? 9 lakhs. But that fellow, he took MSME Ujjam Aadhar certificate. Based on this, total registration charge became 11,000 only. Fixed amount. It's not, percentage. Yes, I remembered. Mortgage deed requires a stamp duty of 0.5 percentage. 8% to 3% is this for transfers. Small correction. For mortgage, 0.5% is the stamp duty which a person has to pay to the government. So 3 crores into 0.5% means 1.5 lakh. But he paid how much amount? 11,000. That means how much amount he saved? 1,39,000, which can be used for promotion of the business activities. That's it. That's the advantage of having MSME recognition certificate. So MSME recognition certificate, for whom it is optional. Micro small enterprises, whether goods, services, for them optional. And medium enterprises for services optional. But medium enterprises for manufacture or production of goods mandatory. Filing authority, that memorandum shall be filed with the authority specified by the state government. Who should file it? Any person who before, for pre-existing enterprises. See, this is new enterprises, this is new enterprises. So that means what? This act came in the year 2006. Post 2006, whoever starts business, for them first point. No sir, I already started business in the year 1990 itself. I'm a pre-existing enterprise. Now for me also applicable. Applicable. Small scale industry with a registration certificate, for them optional. No need to file any application or a memorandum with the state government authority. But an industry engaged in manufacturing or producing goods with an investment in plant and machinery exceeding how much? 1 crore but not exceeding 10 crores. Why? Because about 10 crores means it's a big industry. And I'm also talking about which timeline? 2006 timeline. Right now, in the year 2025, already investment has been increased to how much? 125 crores. That point of time, 1 to 10 crores is like a medium enterprise. Now, 125 crores medium enterprise means. Time frame, such enterprises must file memorandum, nothing but application, within how many days? 180 days of commencement of this act. And filing should be in accordance with the provisions of this act. Right now, is this point significant? Not significant. Why? This point is relevant when MSME Act was enacted. Almost 20 years over. So this point is of useless simply. So if you are someone who already established a unit before MSME, then within 180 days of commencement of this act, you must file an application for getting recognition certificate. Clear? In previous lecture, I started MSME chapter. I discussed with you some 6 points. So let's quickly revise the 6 points and then I'll proceed with new concepts in this lecture. So starting with classification of micro, small, medium enterprises. Sir, on what basis MSME classification will be done? So the criteria is investments and turnover. As per our study material, the investment criteria for micro is up to 1 crore, small up to 10 crores, medium up to 50 crores. And the turnover for micro 5 crores, small up to 50 crores, medium up to 250 crores. So before examination, till examination, if there is no amendment in the study material, then you have to remember these limits only. If institute comes up with amendments, then you have to remember 2.5 times of existing limits for investment, 2 times of the existing limits for turnover. Okay, so while determining investment in the land, investment in the furniture and fittings should be excluded. And while determining the turnover, export turnover shall be excluded. Sir, how to determine investment, sir? Go through income tax return, latest income tax return. If there is no income tax return, then go through the self-declaration form. Coming to the turnover, how to determine the turnover? Open income tax returns. So gross receipts or sales, that will be the turnover. Or else monthly, enterprise is filing a GST return. So how much GST turnover they recorded in the preceding year. So like that we can determine turnover. If GST applicability is there, go through GST returns. If the GST is not applicable to that entity, then go through the income tax returns. Next one. Initially you came under MSME classification, but after 1 year or after 2 years, you are not coming into the MSME category. Why? Because high turnovers and high investments. But still, lawmaker ensures that once you are getting a benefit, that benefit will be continued for how many years? 3 years. Even you are jumping from micro to small, you can enjoy the benefits of micro for the next 3 years. Small to medium also, you can enjoy the benefit for 3 years. Medium to big sector also, you can enjoy the benefits of 3 years. This ensures smooth transition. Next one, I told you, the highlights of MSME. What is the highlights of MSME schemes? Enhancing competitiveness, employee skill development, management improvements, technical upgradation, marketing assistance, infra facilities, cluster development, and strengthening backward and forward linkages. In Russia, if you are earning incomes, you need to pay some 40% tax. As long as you are earning money, you need to pay tax of 40%. Due to crisis or due to AI, increase in AI usage, if you lose job, Russian government will pay you 30% incentive. They will give you 30% allowances. Say for example, you are drawing a salary of 1 lakh. Every month you have to pay tax of 40,000. But when you lose job, government will pay you 30,000 to you, and government will provide some skill development. Government will ask you to attend some skill development programs. Only if you attend those programs, you will get 30,000. Once your training is over, government will find a suitable job to you, and again you will be employed. Once you join employment, again you need to pay tax of 40%. That means no person is idle in Russia. Either you will do the job or you will learn the new skills. That's what Russian government initiation what they did is. Same thing, here also, our Indian government is expecting. That's what, employee skill development. Next one, Ministry of MSME. Dedicated ministry for MSME. So you can see here when it was formed, October 1999. Latest ministry is, May 2002, which regulates two industries. One is small scale and the other one is agro and rural industries. Functions: design policies, promote and facilitate programs, projects and schemes, monitor implementation to help MSME scale up. Responsibility: this is a distributed framework. So what type of responsibility? The responsibility was delegated responsibility. Yes, central government will have indirect control, whereas state government will have direct control. We call it as mixed delegation, like that, Next one, definitions we have seen. In the definitions, three definitions are very, very important. Which three definitions? Appointed day. One is the appointed day, a day after expiry of 15 days from the date of acceptance or deemed date of acceptance. Then what is the date of acceptance? Date of delivery of the goods is date of acceptance. What is the deemed date of acceptance? Within 15 days of delivery of goods, if there is no objection from the buyer, then date of delivery of goods is deemed to be the date of deemed acceptance. In case of objection, find out the issue resolution date. When issue got resolved, that will be the date of acceptance. So appointed date is nothing but 15 days. Day after expiry of 15 days from the date of acceptance. Appointed day is like a due date for making payments. So buyer has to make payment to MSE. MSE, medium is not included, micro, small. If payment is delayed, that means after expiry of 15 days and also some period has been expired, then for the delayed period, buyer has to pay interest. How much? 3 times of the bank rate. Next one we have seen National Board for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So here you will see representatives from the government, legislature, finance, RBI, banks, industry, labor and MSME units. Some of the people are ex officio people and remaining people are specially appointed by the central government. So specially appointed by central government, their tenure will be prescribed by the government, whereas ex officio people, their tenure depends upon the how long they are holding the qualifying position. And how many times they will meet in each year? 4 times. How? Once in every 3 months. Once in every 3 months, that means you take quarterly only, Jan, Feb, March, one time. Next April, May, June, one time. Like that, 4 times they will meet in a year. It may associate individuals for assistance or advice as needed. It may associate means, they can also call for an experts. Experts will suggest these people what kind of policies, what kind of existing things should be examined. review of the existing policies, recommendations of changes in the policies, and advise the central government regarding the usage of the fund. Next one is Memorandum of MSME. This is like official recognition of MSME units. Whether you are MSME unit or not, for that you need to get a certificate. Certificate is mandatory for medium enterprises which are engaged in manufacturing or production of goods and services. Whereas for others, that means micro manufacturers, service providers, small manufacturers, service providers, for them this is purely optional. And also medium engaged in service sector also, for them also filing this memorandum is optional. But priority, they will give priority for this certificate. Why? Because banks will give 1 rupee less rate of interest. Bank will give finance at a rate of interest which is 1 rupee less compared to other loans. Say for example, a businessman is borrowing a loan of 11%, borrowing a loan at the rate of 11% interest. MSME unit can get that loan at just 10% only. 1% rate cut will be there. So that's why they will give priority to this they will give priority in getting these certificates. Next one, for pre-existing enterprises, that means before 2006 you are already a business enterprise, you have already established a business unit before 2006, then for you lawmaker is giving a time period of 180 days. Within 180 days of commencement of the act, file memorandum with authority and get a recognition certificate. So this helps government to know how many MSME units are there in India. This helps government in distribution of resources among the MSME units. If you are not registered, how government will know that you are a business enterprise? You are a business enterprise which is which comes under MSME units. So simply for easy monitoring by the government, government is asking people to get registered under MSME frameworks. Next one, seventh one, reference to micro and small enterprises facilitation council. The other name is dispute resolution. Dispute resolution. Dispute is nothing but conflict. Supplier supplied goods or services to the buyer. Supplier is asking the payment of some 10 crores. Buyer is selling, no, it's not 10 crores, it's 9 crores only. You didn't supply goods according to my terms and conditions. Supplier told, no, I supplied goods as per your terms and conditions only. Now there is a dispute. How to resolve this dispute? Who is having authority to resolve the dispute is all about reference to MSE Facilitation Council. Name itself is telling medium is excluded, medium already excluded. Micro and small enterprises will get a benefit of this dispute resolution. Today if you ask a ChatGPT only, if you ask ChatGPT, if you ask Google, how many years it take to close a case? India, minority petty cases, first day or within a few months. Civil cases you can see 2 to 5 years. Criminal cases 6 years. Session court cases average 3 to 6 years. I supplied goods worth 10 crores. You are telling 9 crores only. Now this is a dispute. Sometimes you may intentionally raise a dispute so that if matter went to the court, you can enjoy for a period of 2 to 5 years. But for me, that amount is getting blocked. I can't purchase new materials. I can't run my production unit. So for speedy settlement of the disputes, the cases can be referred to Micro and Small Enterprises Facilitation Council. Any party to a dispute, maybe a buyer, maybe a supplier, regarding an amount due under section 17 may refer the matters to MSE Facilitation Council. On receipt of a reference, nothing but dispute, the council shall conduct conciliation itself, refer the matter to an institution or center offering alternate dispute resolution services for conciliation. See, conciliation, mediation, arbitration, all these three comes under ADR, alternate dispute resolution. Before alternate dispute resolution concept, we had a concept of court. So where you will see plaintiff, defendant, plaintiff lawyer, defendant lawyer, they both argue on a subject matter which will take some 3 years, 5 years, 10 years for settlement of the case. Instead of going with lengthy legal proceedings, just go for a speedy settlement, that is nothing but ADR. Here mediation will be there, that means compromise. It's nothing but compromise arrangement only. Because of these compromise arrangements, court to valuable time can be saved, and your funds will not be blocked for a more period also. So early settlement of the cases. So getting my point? So these three comes under alternate dispute resolution, conciliation. So an independent person will come forward and he will ask, what is your problem? What is your problem? What kind of settlement you are expecting? How much you are willing to pay? Like that, it's like a compromise arrangement only. Bringing two parties each other, bringing two parties together and making some adjustment, compromise arrangement. Again, arbitration is different. Arbitration is like, it's like a court only. The difference between court and arbitration, if a matter is referred to arbitration, until that matter is closed, they will not look for new cases. But if you go with court, they will give just 5 to 10 minutes each day. Suppose, what is any update in this, any development in the case? No development, sir. Next hearing after 10 days. Next hearing after 1 month. Next hearing after 2 months. Because in a court, you will see a number of cases. For example, if you remember JB movie, not only for that one particular case, judges are coming for a number of cases for that day. One such case is, missing complaint, habeas corpus. Whereas arbitration, until your case is getting settled, they will continuously monitor your case. Somewhat, time saving thing and costly thing also. Professionals, here also you will find professionals only. In arbitration also, you will find professionals only. But arbitration judgment, civil court judgment, both had same level of priority. If you are getting judgment under arbitration, you are bound by that judgment. But coming to the conciliation, is not like that. In conciliation, independent person will not at all give any judgment. Independent person will facilitate a compromise process. It's a compromise channel, conciliation. Arbitration is different. But all these comes under alternate dispute resolution, only to save court valuable time and for speedy settlement of the disputes. So first conciliation. If conciliation is not giving desired result, then go with arbitration. See, if conciliation fails and is terminated without settlement, then counsel shall either take up the dispute for arbitration itself or refer it to an appropriate ADR center for arbitration. And you know what? Within 90 days, that case will be solved. Time frame for decision, you can say time frame for decision. All the references shall be decided within how many days? 90 days from the date of reference. And sir, with which jurisdiction we need to file a complaint, sir? Do you remember Companies Act? In case of company, if you have any problem with company, with which jurisdiction we need to lodge our complaint? The answer is registered office jurisdiction. If company is registered in Chennai, then in Chennai, whatever MSME facilitation council is there, go and file complaint there. That means you tell me, is it buyer favor point, supplier favor point? Supplier favor point. Why? Because today buyers you will find from a number of places. Supplier may be from one place, whereas buyer is from entire India. If I tell buyer jurisdiction is applicable, then each and every buyer from his local jurisdiction, he will lodge complaints. Now supplier has to travel all these courts, ignoring the business. So simply to protect supplier and to provide sufficient time to the supplier to carry the business operations. So here, which jurisdiction was given priority? Supplier jurisdiction. See, MSME Facilitation Council or ADR Center can act as an arbitrator or conciliator for the disputes between supplier located within its jurisdiction. Buyer may be located anywhere in India, but the jurisdiction is supplier's jurisdiction. So what is the time frame for completion of all these, for settlement of all these things? 90 days. Once you lodge a complaint, within 90 days, settlement will be completed. Next one, advisory committee. What is the role of advisory committee? They will give advices to the ministry. They will give advices to the national board. So here you will see one expert committee who will constantly give advices to the ministry or national board. Sorry, who will give advices to the national board and ministry. National board, as I told you, examine, review, recommend and advise the funds for the MSME projects. This national board also will do the same thing, but national board will get services from expert committee, and the national board will render these services to ministry. Ministry is nothing but government of India only. Let's see. Constitution. CG shall constitute advisory committee through a notification. Members. Committee will consist of following members. Who? Secretary in charge of MSME. Up to 5 officers from CG with expertise in MSME related matters. Up to 3 representatives from state governments. 1 representative from Association of MSME. Member secretary of the National Board will also serve as member secretary of the advisory committee ex officio. So if you observe carefully, all the members are ex officios only. Here all the members are ex officios. Now the tenure, separate independent tenure will be there. As long as they hold qualifying position, they will hold these positions. As long as they hold qualifying position, they hold these positions. All are ex officio people only. And role of committee. CG shall obtain recommendations from advisory committee before classifying any class of enterprises under subsection 1. Best example right now we have seen the limits, right? 2.5 crores, 10 crores, 25 crores, 100 crores, 125 crores, 500 crores. Right now we have seen the turnover and investment categories. Increase of these amounts, whether these amounts are reasonable or should we increase these limits. All this, government gets decisions or government will get advices from time to time from this committee only. So this advisory committee will recommend or will give an advice. Sir, these limits, now become insignificant in amount, sir. Increase it by 3 times, increase it by 2.5 times, like that. The advisory committee shall examine the matters referred to it by the National Board under section 5 and furnish recommendations to the board. Next point. Measures for promotion, development and enhancement of competitiveness of MSMEs. Measures for promotion of MSME, development of MSME, enhancement of competitiveness of MSMEs. First one, facilitate promotion, development, competitiveness, enhancement of MSME. Next one, skill development for employees, management and entrepreneurs. Technological upgradation, providing market assistance, formulate policies and practices regarding credit, develop a procurement policy, preference policy for MSME, administer grants provided by the central government. One by one, I'll explain. Administer grants provided by the central government. That means what? Whether targeted MSMEs, targeted MSMEs are getting funds or not. Targeted MSMEs are getting funds or not. That is nothing but administer grants provided by CG. February 1st. What is the significance of February 1st? Budget day. Finance minister will give a speech on budget. So we are going to get a tax revenue of, say for example, yearly 40 lakh crores. Borrowings some 20 lakh crores. Total we are getting a revenue including loans of 60 lakh crores. How we are going to spend all these amounts? In that one point is allocation to MSME some 600 crores. Now how this amount is getting utilized? That is nothing but administering grants provided by the CG. So targeted MSMEs are getting the adequate funds or not, adequate public funds or not. Next one, develop a procurement preference policy. This is about a guaranteed market for MSME products. You produce the goods, don't worry, we will create purchase opportunities, like we will only procure from you. Or very recently also our state government took an initiative, for promoting MSMEs. What they did, they conducted one exhibition related activity where they highlighted all the handmade items. Even few government representatives, few MLAs purchased those goods, and they also made a promotion, like these goods are very good for our living. So everyone come and purchase, like that, doing such kind of things, nothing but guaranteed or market assurance. Next one, formulate policies and practices regarding credit for MSMEs. So like example, CGTMSA, Credit Guaranteed Fund Trust for Micro Small Enterprises. Instant credit. Today you can see Bajaj Finance, next Poonawalla Finance, keep on calling us. Sir, your CIBIL score is very high, sir. Your income tax returns also is showing that you are having a decent income. Just by following some 3 to 4 steps, 15 lakhs loan amount will be credited to your account. That is nothing but instant credit. Credit App also will give you instant loans. So personal loans, when personal loans awareness or when personal loans are available at instant, what about business entities? They should be given instant credit facilities. Therefore, their operations will not be affected. Next one, providing marketing assistance, infrastructure facilities, promote cluster development to strengthen backward and forward linkages. Suppose you are producing a goods in rural areas. Improper transportation facility, improper logistics. You tell me, is it possible to bring all the goods from rural area to market? No. So government will take these kind of steps also. Technological upgradation. You take, for example, machine, stitching machine only, you take stitching machine. Previously, stitching machine, how it gets operated, person using his legs, use it to stitch clothes. But now, everywhere motor is there. Just one click, that motor will work, stitching will be completed. Previously, one day, you may work on some 10 items. Now, due to this technology, what happened? You can work on some 50 items. Yield will be increased, efficiency will be increased. Like that, wherever technology we can replace existing manual operations with technology. So promote technology upgradation. Skill development. So previously, to operate a manual machine, not no, much skills not required, but now to operate electronic machines, skill is required. So skill development programs you conduct. Next one, that's what, by doing all these ways, MSMEs promotion, development of MSMEs, competitiveness of MSMEs can be increased. So our MSME local players can compete globally. That is the point. Next one, dedicated funds and payments for the sector. Dedicated funds, nothing but grant only you take. Grants. So grants that was announced in the parliament. Let's see. CG may by notification constitute one or more funds for MSME fund. The CG shall administer the funds like inflow and outflow, everything. Who will manage? CG. Inflow and outflows are administered by CG. The fund or fund shall be utilized exclusively for MSME sector. Diversion allowed or not allowed? Or not allowed. Only for MSME sector that funds will be utilized. CG shall ensure coordination, timely release and utilization of funds as per prescribed criteria. On like phase wise completion of the project, you will be released funds. Like first you purchase plant and machinery, we will give you 20% incentive. Even in income tax act also, if you see few sectors, if you make investment of 100 rupee, they will give you deduction of 150%. Depreciation not allowed. Why? Because 150% straight away we are giving you tax exemption. So if you are investing 1 crore rupees on particular plant and machinery, straight away you can take 1.5 crore income tax deduction. That means 1.5 crore will be allowed expenditure, will be allowed as an expenditure. So like that, this one also. So phase wise, plant and machinery 20% incentive, and commercial commencement of the business, commercial start from the date of production activities begin. So you'll be given another incentive. Say for example, GST for all industries, or sorry, GST for your competitors is some 18%, but for you 5% only, tax exemptions. So timely release and utilization of funds as per the prescribed criteria. Next one, delayed payments to MSME. Delayed payment to MSME. Payments to MSME shall not exceed 45 days from the date of acceptance or deemed acceptance. Sir, you told 15 days in appointment date, no sir. But what is this 45 days? What is this 45 days? Let me tell you. Appointed date. Appointed date. Two options. One is there is an agreement for credit period. There is an agreement for credit period. And second one, no agreement about credit period. no agreement for credit period. That means when supplier and buyer entered into the contract, few terms and conditions they will record. In the terms and conditions, there is an agreement for credit period. Then that credit period maximum 45 days. Maximum credit period is how much? 45 days. Sir, can I fix a credit period of 2 years? No. Can I fix a credit period of 1 year? No. Maximum credit period is 45 days from the date of acceptance. That means, today I'm receiving the goods and I accepted that goods consignment 1st February 2026. To this add 45 days. That will be the appointed date. Why? Because there is an agreement for credit period. Sir, can I fix 30? Yes, 30 or 45, whichever is lower. Agreed period or 45, whichever is lower, we have to consider. Suppose if there is no agreement for credit period, then as per MSME laws, that is a day immediately after expiry of 15 days from day of acceptance or deemed date of acceptance. Now understood? 45 days, 15 days option. 15 days when there is no agreement for credit period. 45 days when there is an agreement for credit period, but the maximum is 45 days only. You can reduce 45 days, but you can't increase 45 days. So here I can write like this: when there is an agreement for credit period. Agreement for credit period. Buyers failing to pay within the specified time shall pay compounding interest. So far I told 3 times of the bank rate, 3 times of the bank rate as an interest. But what type of interest? Compounding interest. Do you know the difference between simple interest and compounding interest? Simple interest means which will be calculated only on principal into interest. Compounding interest means principal amount plus outstanding interest. On that we will apply interest rate. That means interest on interest. Compounding interest means interest on interest. Our banks are following compounding interest system only. Say for example, this month you are not paying EMI. That amount will be added to the outstanding loan, and total amount next month interest calculation will happen. So here also the same thing, compounding interest with a monthly compounding interest, and what is the interest rate? 3 times of the bank rate notified by the RBI. Every 3 months I think RBI will fix a repo rate, bank rate, and our banks will add some spread and will determine the loans. Rate of interest. Bank rate means, say for example, if RBI is fixing 6%, that means what? If any bank, say for example State Bank of India need a money, SBI can borrow money from RBI at what rate? 6%. Now SBI is giving loans to its borrowers. They will add some spread, say for example 2%, spread is 2%. So SBI will charge 8% interest on the borrower, and SBI will pay 6% interest to the RBI. So the difference between bank rate and interest rate is nothing but spread, which is independent for each and every banks. Clear? So if bank rate increases, what happen? Spread constant. If bank rate is getting increased, borrower interest cost will be very, very high. So here I am not talking about a particular bank rate. I am talking about which bank rate? The rate determined by the RBI. The rate determined by the or notified by the RBI. That is nothing but RBI lending rate. Buyers required to audit annual accounts must disclose principal amount unpaid to any supplier at the end of accounting year. So as on 31st March 26, what is the outstanding dues to the supplier? Which supplier? Microsoft Enterprise supplier. Interest due on the unpaid amount shown separately. This is for transparency. Government want to know whether you are making prompt payments to the MSE enterprises or not. Government want to know that. So government is expecting, yes, my dear company, you are required to audit your accounts, right? In your financial statements, in your board report, separate disclosures regarding outstanding dues to the MSME is required. See, this audit is not only company audit, but also tax audit you take, income tax audit also you take. Generally, we keep a point in disqualifications like creditors under MSMED not found. Why? If creditors were found, we need to report these points. So how much is the outstanding dues and how much interest pending is there? We need to report them. We can report them only when we know the suppliers who fall under MSME category. That's why creditor under MSME not found, that point we keep. Next one, such interest should not be allowed as a deduction while computing taxable income. In PGBP, you have seen disallowable expenditures. Disallowable expenditures, like if you are making a payment without deducting TDS, disallowable expenditure. If you are making a payment of if you are paying amount for an expense exceeding 10,000 rupees in cash, that is also disallowable expenditure. Similarly, interest on dues to the MSE enterprises is also a disallowable expenditure. Simply, if you ask me, this is nothing but penalty. Whether government is collecting this penalty or no, government is asking MSE, you collect these penalties on my behalf. Getting my point? One is payment of interest, which is 3 times of the bank rate. The second one is allowable expenditure or disallowable expenditure. Disallowable expenditure, that means buyer paying this kind of interest, he need to report it, and that expenditure will be disallowed. So simply to protect whose interest, this point is there, micro small enterprises. Next one, short note on facilitation, short note on MSME facilitation centers by state government. Previously I told you, right, dispute resolution. Dispute should be resolved within how many days? Within 90 days. Where? Supplier jurisdiction, I told. Now in this MSME facilitation centers, whom you will find? Composition of MSME facilitation centers, we will see one by one. So the main objective of MSME facilitation center, I am writing here, speedy specialized forum. The objective of this facilitation center is speedy specialized forum for resolving disputes. Just wait. For resolving payment disputes between MSE and buyer, micro small enterprises and buyer. Speedy settlement, and it is a specialized forum. This forum is only for resolving which disputes? Disputes between MSE and buyers regarding payment. So state government shall establish one or more micro and small enterprises facilitation councils through notification. The councils will be set up at a specified locations, maybe capital city of the state, with their jurisdiction defined by the state government. Each council shall have 3 to 5 members appointed from the following categories. 3 to 5. Who are these people? Director of Industries, not below the rank of Director of Industries. Government representative, simply government officer. One or more representatives of micro small industrial associations in the state, nothing but industrial representatives. Industry, first one is government representative, next one is industry representative, and next one or more representatives from banks or financial institutions lending to micro or small enterprises, that is nothing but finance representatives. And last one or more persons with specialized knowledge in industry, finance, law, trade or commerce, nothing but experts. So in this committee, you'll find multi-stakeholder composition. Multi-stakeholder composition, like you can see government representative, industry representative, finance representative, and experts. Such kind of composition is known as multi-stakeholder composition. Clear? Next one, designated officers in central government or state government. Designated officers. The central government and state government may appoint officers and employees and assign powers as deemed fit. First of all, you tell me, what is the essence of police? What is the need of police? Can you tell me why police are required? Legislative will frame rules and regulations. Legislative, simply, law and order. Law and order related rules and regulations. Who will frame? Legislative. For implementation part, we need some machinery. Machinery means not plant and machinery. Machinery means here refers to a system. We need a system to implement the rules and regulations framed by the law. So with respect to law and order, police will take care of it, right? Police will take care of law and order in particular constituency or in particular state locality, particular locality in the state. Each and every street today, if you see, we had one police station. Their main duty is to ensure law and order. That means what? Unnecessarily one person is creating a nuisance to the other people. maybe kidnap, maybe murder, threatening calls, maybe, bombs, etc. What is the duty of police? To come, they will come and they will arrest this person, so that, human survival or human rights will be protected. Similarly, for MSME also, designated officers are there. Like police for law and order, for MSME, designated officers. So CG and SG may appoint officers and employees, assign powers as deemed fit. I can call it as a system. Technically, this is nothing but a machinery for promotion and competitiveness of promotion, facilitation, and competitiveness of MSMEs. Powers and functions. The appointed officers may be entrusted with the powers and functions under this act as decided by the government. That means all the powers are delegated. All the powers are delegated. They are not inherent. Suppose you are named as inspector. By naming you as inspector, you won't get powers. Time to time, government will assign duties to you, will assign powers to you. That means powers are delegated from government to the designated officers. Rule making authority. CG may make rules by notification to carry out the provisions of this act. SG may also make rules by notification to carry out the provisions of this act. Simply, for implementation of act, what are all the necessary things required, like framing the rules? Who will take care of it? CG at central level, SG at state level. Next one, schemes introduced by CG for MSME and the benefit of these schemes. So let's see the schemes first. The Ministry of MSME and its organization aims to provide flow of credit, nothing but instant credit. When you are getting food at instant, credit should also be obtained at instant. The moment you order the food, 20-25 minutes, you are getting a parcel from a Zomato delivery agent. So credit should also be available instant. Why? Because finance is blood of each and every organization. Without finance, no organization can survive. Technology upgradation and modernization. Like, you take costing as an example. We had reorder level concept. We had EOQ. Yes or no? There is a reasonable quantity you need to maintain without disturbing the existing manufacturing process. Now this reorder level or EOQ quantity, earlier we used to do this manually. We used to go down every day, we need to calculate them, we need to check our requirements, and then we used to place orders. But when everything is getting systemized, when everything is getting automated, so just install a software, particularly for inventory management. Whenever stock is entering into the godown, entry. Whenever stock is getting consumed for manufacturing operations, record an entry for exit. When all these entries, inflow and outflow is getting updated, your system will create some alarm sounds. It will give some alert messages. Okay, stock is falling below reorder level. Now instantly you can place an order. Or else what happens? Every day morning you will take account, oh my god, stock fallen below EOQ, or sorry, stock fallen below reorder level. Unnecessary, tensions. So that's it. Wherever technology upgradation is possible, go with technology upgradation. Next one, infrastructure facilities. For example, cold storage only. The goods we produce, say for example, non-durable goods, or vegetables, or fruits, etc. If it is not a season, or it is a season but there is a problem, like COVID pandemic is there. Best example, last summer you take, mangoes were available at cheaper prices compared with previous years. This year, mangoes were available at cheaper prices. The reason is Trump sir imposed a lot of taxes on import of mangoes. So all our exports got affected. All that exports quantity remained in India. And for them, second alternative is supplying fruits to the beverages company, who will convert the fruits into the cool drinks. Because of Trump's tariffs, they also shut down their operations. Now, due to no exports, due to no procurements by the beverages company, the stock quantity, the raw material, sorry, the mango fruits remain idle. As a result, many people sold at prices lesser than previous year prices. And I think 20-25% of the mangoes were damaged completely. So that point of time, when there is a cold storage facility, these people can store mangoes in that cold storage, uh, can be stored for future without any wastage. Testing and quality certification. regarding category, grade of the product. Why? Because high grade product will be available at higher cost, low grade product will be available at lower prices. So quality certification, access to modern management practices. For example, you take SWOT analysis. Previously, how many of people are aware of SWOT analysis? Like, what is our internal strengths, internal weakness, external opportunity, external threats. Based on this, developing our own strategies. Once upon a time, this much of awareness is not there. Now you conduct some awareness programs, try them, ask them to shift from traditional management practices to modern management practices. Like, in corporate governance, I told this concept earlier. How much is the profit is the main point. But now, how you are earning the profit? How you are earning the profit? That is the question. So, are you affecting the environment? Are you affecting the society? No, 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 sir. Like that, access to the modern management practices, entrepreneurship development and skill upgradation, development and skill upgradation, support for productive development, design, packing, product development, design, and packing. Many times a product will fail not due to the quality of the product, but due to the packing materials. Due to the packing materials. If packing material is cheap, which can't store that goods for long period, then that item will be wasted. Design also. Design also. You will see. You can observe today any small item also. The design they are using it attracts potential customers. It's what the designing, the packing style, everything. Welfare of artisans and workers, assistance for domestic and export market access. Like we had a concept called customs gate, ice gate, I'm sorry, ice gate, through which all exports will be recorded, all exports will be made easy. So, ask them whatever product you are able to provide. If that product is having, global demand, so tell them in this way you can export them. If you sell in India, you may get a profit of some 20%. If you sell the same item in a foreign country, you may earn a 60 to 70% profit. For India also, flow of foreign currency, that means our foreign reserves will go up. When your profit is more, we will collect more taxes from you. Everything will be benefited. Each and every stakeholder will be benefited. So that's what necessary support should be given to the domestic and export market access. Next one, benefits of government schemes. Government schemes provide a sense of security to the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur will feel safe and secured because of government schemes. Safe and secured. Chalo, let's start the business. If any wrong things happen, government will take care of us. For example, during COVID pandemic, Atmanirbhar, just wait. Yes, you can see on the screen, Atmanirbhar Bharat, a mission to make India self-reliant, resilient, and integrated with the global economy, supported by massive economic stimulus package. Approximately, how much fund is there? 20 to 30 lakh crores. That is what one year tax collection amount. It focuses on 5 pillars: economy, infrastructure, system, demography, and demand, promoting vocal for local, voice to the local manufacturers. If you see our major imports, India, major imports. First, minerals only. Minerals, that is crude oil. You can see here. Few things we can't avoid, ma. Few things we can't avoid. In that first one is crude oil. We are not having any crude oil. So definitely we need to import crude oil. Next one you can see metals, precious stones, coins. If we are having sufficient metal ores, we can do this. In the absence of that, definitely import of these things required. Electrical and electronic equipments, machinery, nuclear reactors, boilers, organic chemicals, plastic and plastic articles, iron and steel to supplement domestic production for infrastructure and manufacturing, animal and vegetable fats, oils. So eight things are there. These are the 8 major imports. Now we need to select a category where self manufacturing possible or not. Instead of depending on other country products, can we do it on our own basis or not? For example, recent you have seen that Brahmas, a fighting equipment, defense item. When we release the bullet, same length only it will travel and it will hit the target. Generally, we import Russian arms and equipments majorly. That Rafale fighting jets, if you see, predominantly we import military defense items from Russia. But very recently, India started building its own defense system. I think BrahMos is the outcome of it only. So, which things we can have self our own manufacturing, that all the things ministry will take care of it. Okay, so okay, first thing, sense of security, that means safe and secured. Anything happens, government will come and will rescue us. For that, best outcome is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Next one, some schemes offer financial security to the businesses and individuals. Certain schemes provide technology support and guidance to the entrepreneurs. Schemes help in improving the livelihood of individuals and entrepreneurs. So financial support to technical support to improve the standard of living. These are the benefits of government schemes. Next one, challenges. Many MSME business miss out on these benefits due to lack of information about the schemes. See, today when you start a new business, if you start that new business with bank loans, when you file an application before getting that bank loan for a subsidy, banker will collect subsidy on behalf of you and will reduce your loan amount. But many people don't know about this kind of benefits. So as a result, lot of people are not able to get these benefits. Challenges is nothing but problems. So what is the solution to this problem? Very simple, conduct awareness programs. Note, Champions Control Room under Ministry along with the development institutes, that is DIs and DICs, facilitate single point registration. It's like single window registration. Once you register under this website, multiple certificates will be issued like that. So too many registrations, too many certificates required or not required? Not at all required. There is a meaning of this point. So single windowed registration, just write one point, reduces procedural hurdles, that's it. Framework for revival and rehabilitation of MSME. Revival. If you have played PUBG game, you will know the importance of revival. What revival means in that PUBG game? Suddenly one of our friend in the team, if he was hit by any bullet, immediate death, some 60 seconds he will be alive. 60 seconds he will be alive. Meanwhile, another team member will come and revive that person, right? From business point of view, initially when you are in losses, when you are in huge losses, liquidation is not ultimate solution. We need to check whether revival is possible or not. Revival and rehabilitation, that means if I give you a little finance support, are you able to come back to your original situation or not? Yes sir, possible sir, then revival and rehabilitation will be initiated. No sir, even if you revive me, my industry is a sick industry, my industry already died sir, then okay, sell all the assets, settle all the liabilities. So before liquidation, one option available for continuation of business or having going concern assumption appropriate is revival and rehabilitation. Banks have extended loans to MSME, may revise the repayment schedule based on the certain criteria. For example, you took a loan with a tenure of 7 years. Loan amount is 1 crore. Every month you have to pay, say for example 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 12 months means 14 lakhs. 14 lakhs into 7 years means approximately 14 into 7, 90, 90, 98 lakhs only it is coming. No. 2 lakhs into 12 means 14. No. 24 lakhs into 7 years means 168 lakhs you are paying. That means, 1 crore is the principal amount, 68 lakhs is the interest amount. Okay, this is approximately more or less correct only. 1 crore you are taking a loan, 2 lakhs would be the ideal EMI, 12 months, 168 you are paying. 2 years it went on very, very good. 2 years, you are doing business very good manner. Third year, COVID pandemic came. During COVID pandemic, government announced for lockdown. But bankers, they forced borrowers, come on, pay the loan, come on, pay the loan. Few borrowers, they committed suicide. Looking at this criteria, government announced a concept called moratorium, 6 months, banks. You had no power to ask borrowers to pay the amount for the next 6 months. Borrower to avail this facility, just to follow this process like that, Government of India announced a scheme. Similarly, MSME, 2 years it did business very well. Third year, due to some reasons, maybe technology upgradation or due to some other reasons, changes in taste and priorities of the customers, it is not able to perform well. Now 2 lakhs per month EMI would be very, very costly to them. In that case, banks may come and banks may do one-time money settlement, OTS. It is popularly called as OTS, one-time settlement. So far you have paid some 40 lakhs loan. Balance 60 lakhs loan including interest, say for example 90. Out of 90, if you pay me 80 lakhs or if you pay me 60 lakhs, I'll close your debt. Or else I will revise your payment structure. 7 years is the original tenure, right? I'll increase it to 17 years. Loan I will reduce, rate of interest also I'll reduce, sorry, EMI I'll reduce, rate of interest also I'll reduce. That is what revival means. Banks must form a committee to review each MSME sector, suggest appropriate corrective actions, and debt restructuring cell of respective bank will monitor the restructuring process. See, this is the best example for internal reconstruction. You did a lot of problems in accounts, right? In CA Inter or CMA Inter, you did a problems regarding internal reconstruction. This is one such example. Next one, delay in payment to MSME. The MSME Samadhan is an online portal created by the Office of DC MSME for addressing delayed payments. The main objective of this point is ensure transparency. Transparency. If you remember, during COVID, they developed one website. They mentioned a dashboard. In dashboard you will find number of testings happened today, number of patients were identified, number of patients that were cured, and outstanding number of patients who are affected with COVID, like that. And once they started giving these vaccines, Covaxin or Covishield, for that also they maintained a dashboard. So daily how many people are getting these vaccines, how many people are vaccinated, the dashboard explain you day-to-day updates. Similarly, this is also a dashboard. MSME Samadhan will contain a dashboard. It's an online portal created by government for addressing delayed payments. If your buyer is not paying you on timely basis, you just log in into this website and place your complaint. The portal provides a dashboard showing pending dues of MSEs with CPSE, nothing but public sector undertakings at central level, ministries and state governments. Even MSME, how much dues to the MSME from government side is also available. So government dues to MSMEs. Next one, CEOs of public sector undertakings, secretaries of concerned ministry can monitor delayed payment cases and issue instructions for resolution. So this is like one-stop solution. Like MSME not getting timely payments from government entities, CEOs and secretaries just looking at this dashboard, they will make all the arrangements for timely settlement of these MSMEs. Next one, Ministry of MSME allows supplier MSME units to file online complaints against buyers for delayed payments via the portal. The best example, you see, a road contractor only. Best example, road contractor only. 1 kilometer road contractor, for example, 6 crores. So this project who will give to whom? State government will give to contractors. Contractor finished this work, but he is not getting this amount. When there is a portal like this, when there is a dashboard, if contractor is registering his complaint, definitely from state government, the CEO of PSC or secretary of the concerned ministry, they will monitor it and they will timely release payments to the contractors. Now contractor will be in safe hands. Why? Because if there is no contractor, then there will be no business. If there is no business, then there will be no employment opportunities. So that's what. Complaints are reviewed by the MSEFC Council. FC means Facilitation Council, visible to central ministers, departments, CPSE. CPSE again telling Central Public Sector Enterprises and state governments for appropriate action. The portal helps MSME to register complaints online if payments are not received from buyers or suppliers. All companies receiving goods or services from MSME must submit half yearly return to MCA if payments remain due for 45 days or more. 45 days, when it will come? If agreement for credit period. If there is agreement for credit period, then 45 days concept will come. If there is no agreement of credit period, 15 days only. 15 days from the date of acceptance or deemed date of acceptance. So all companies procuring goods and services from MSME unit, if the dues are more than 45 days, if due period is more than 45 days, outstanding, sorry, if amounts are outstanding for a period 45 days or more, they must submit half yearly returns to the MCA. And everything will be updated on this MSME Samadhan dashboard. Objective of this website to address delayed payments. Time to time government will take appropriate action. Next, procurement preference policy. CG or SG issue notifications for public procurement preference to MSMEs. So currently it is 25% of annual procurement, 25% of annual requirement, sorry, annual procurement by CPSE ministries. So minimum 25% of annual procurement should be done from MSME. This ensures marketability of MSME products. A detailed notification issued on 23rd May 2012 outlines reservation of items for MSME, price references, support for women entrepreneurs, and specialized MSME development programs. You take sugar as an example, best example. Sugar comes from sugarcane. Sugarcane price is determined by the government, like 3,000 rupees per ton sugarcane. Per ton sugarcane, 3,000 rupees. And sugar manufacturing companies, by adding some chemicals, using plant and machinery, using labor, they will produce sugar. For 1 ton of sugarcane, the ideal output will be 130 kgs of sugar. 130 kgs of sugar per 1 ton. But on an average, you can expect 100 kgs of sugar per 1 ton. Ton means 1000 kgs. 1000 kgs of sugarcane. If you use 1000 kgs of sugarcane, if you keep input of 1000 kgs of sugarcane, you can expect 100 kgs of sugar. And also government will fix a sugar price. Suppose if government is fixing sugar price as 28 rupees per kg, you tell me profit or loss? Loss only. Why? 3000 per ton. 1 ton is giving you 100 kgs of sugar. Even you fix 30 rupees per kg also. 30 into 100 kgs means 3000. You are getting raw material price. What about plant and machinery, electricity? What about labor payments? So these kind of situations, government will announce some incentives, some subsidies. You may ask me, sir, why government is fixing 28 per kg? Because at global level, at global markets, sugar is available at just 25 rupees, 26 rupees only. For us, cost is high. Why? The reason, guaranteed payments to the farmers. If we don't fix 3000 per ton, farmer will go with other crops, other pulses, food grains he will go. He will not produce sugarcane. He will not cultivate sugarcane. So farmer should be benefited. At the same time, sugar manufacturing companies should be given incentives, or else they will stop sugar manufacturing. They will go for other manufacturing activities. Sir, then what happens, sir? At global level, we are getting 25 per kg. No, we can import sugar. No, sir. Yes, initially you can import sugar. When the country which is exporting sugar to you, if they know that you are completely dependent on that country's sugar, then what that country will do? It will try to impose terms and conditions. If you want our sugar, you have to sign this MOU. You have to buy this product from us, or you have to sell that product at cheaper prices. Like that, that country will dictate terms and conditions. That's why all the basic necessary things, India already started manufacturing the things, even though our production cost is very high, by providing various incentives like this only. And have you compared, China products with our products? China products are not reasonably, they are very less in prices compared with our products. Yes or no? any item you take in India, suppose the cost of manufacturing is 1 lakh rupee, in China it would be just 10,000, 15,000 rupees only. 80 to 90% variation will be there. Why? The reason is, one is taxes, the other one is resources. Suppose you take our country India, land prices, we are unnecessarily, artificially, we will increase land prices. Say for example, you take capital city of our Andhra Pradesh only. Earlier, before declaration of capital city, 1 acre agriculture land is just 2 lakh rupees. Now 1 acre land in capital city is minimum 6 crores. That means artificial hype only. Now a particular industries, particular company, say for example you take Kia only, they want to set up their unit in India. If land is available at higher prices, again for registration of land, for purchase of the land or for registration of lease deed, again 8% stamp duty you have to pay, means for them land procurement cost would be very, very high. And moreover, you take people only, for example, our mindset is entirely different. If you ask someone, Arey, why are you idle? At least work in that petrol bunk or do some Zomato agent services. At least provide some Zomato agent services. Don't be idle. Earn some money. What that person will tell? Oh my God, my dignity will be affected. If my relatives see me working in petrol bunk, working in restaurant, working as a delivery agent, my reputation will be lost. Like that, that person will think. But if the same person is going to USA or UK for education purposes, after completion of that education, after completion of that coaching time, college timings, they will work in stores, they will work in petrol bunks. Why? Because there, the dignity of labor standard is different from our country. Here everything is like respect, attitude. Many times I told this example in many classes. Say for example, one person is having 2 cattle, he is getting some 20 liters of milk, he is selling milk. Okay, now how we will show respect to that fellow? Ordinary milkman, no need to show respect at all. We use it to scold him also. But assume another person is having 2000 cattle, daily some 40,000 liters of milk he is extracting, he is selling that milk in India. Now the level of respect we show to that person is different. But if you observe my 2 examples, example 1, milkman only, example 2 also milkman only. Getting it? So that's what, the attitude, dignity matters. So here, our people, they will be, they will show priority to remain idle instead of working for lesser wages. They demand higher wages. If that amount is not, if they're not getting that amount, they will try to remain idle. But China people are not like that. Small worker, they won't see the work nature, they will see whether they are getting employed or not. So because of availability of labor and availability of land at cheaper prices in China, they are manufacturing in bulk. As a result, fixed cost per unit is coming down. That's why cost of each unit is very less in China. But if you take India only, best example, here all the costs are very high because of our mindset only. I'm not degrading our country, but I'm telling what exactly happening in India. Maybe some 2 to 3 generations after, we will also change our mindset. Why? We already crossed China population. So at one point of time, our attitude will also change. Instead of remaining idle, everyone will do the works. Okay, fine, ignore. So detailed notification issued on 23rd March 2012 outlines reservation of items for MSME, price preferences, fixed price mechanism, support for women entrepreneurs, special MSME development programs. So let's continue our discussion with the pending concepts of MSME chapter. So starting with establishment of fund. See, this is a dedicated fund for MSME. Dedicated fund for MSMEs. That means this fund will be utilized only for the purpose of MSME. You can see here, CG established MSME fund exclusively for the purpose defined in the MSMED Act. The fund aims to promote and develop MSMEs, enhance their competitiveness by conducting programs to upgrade their skills, support schemes for easy business closure, implement credit policies, ensure procurement preference, and provide mechanisms to mitigate delayed payment issues. For proper working capital management, they are providing mechanisms to minimize delayed payments issue. So for this easy business closure, loss making MSME loss making MSME that cannot continue operations, that cannot continue operations may receive financial assistance for orderly closure or restructuring using schemes funded through MSME fund. So small scale, we are not having popular examples. If you ask me a popular example regarding this point, if you see Vodafone Idea, they're having approximately 36,000 crores spectrum dues. Government observed the financial position of Vodafone Idea and ordered to convert this debt of 36,000 crores into equity. So that means some financial restructuring is happening. Here also you can see support schemes for easy business closure means, loss making MSMEs that cannot continue operations may receive some assistance for orderly closure. Some amounts like, for every 1 rupee debt you are having, we will help you some 30 paisa. So make settlement like that. It's almost like insolvent. But if a person is becoming insolvent, how distribution happens? Here business enterprise is becoming a sick business entity. Sick unit means what? Unable to pay its debts. No money, no liquidity first, or maybe insolvent stage. So these entities may receive some financial assistance for orderly closure or maybe restructuring using various schemes funded through MSME fund. Next point, establishment of MSME facilitation center. I already told you facilitation center is for what purpose? Dispute resolution. Establishment. MSME facilitation centers are established under section 18 to assist MSME units. They have the power to settle disputes between MSME and other parties. Other parties means buyer only. State governments may establish such facilitation councils for conciliation. Next one, MSME have right to approach the council for grievance redressal. If they had any doubts regarding any particular provision also, their doubts will be addressed at the council. So just one point, just make a note of one point. A buyer delays payment to a buyer delays payment to a small supplier in brackets MSE, micro small enterprise, for 6 months. Now MSE, that is, that small supplier can approach the facilitation council. I'll write a shortcut, MSME facilitation council for recovery along with interest. So buyer delays payment, to a small supplier for 6 months. MSC approaches a facilitation council for recovery along with interest. Next one, role of National Small Industries Corporation Limited. NIC was established in 1955, that is under Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951. This is a old law. Right now we are following MSME 2006. Okay, so NSIC was established in 1955 to promote, aid faster growth of micro and small enterprises on a commercial basis. So what are all financial support required, or what are all legal support, like getting licenses, legal support or financial support was taken care by NSIC. NSIC, with respect to micro enterprises and small enterprises. Support services like what? Raw material procurement. So like fixing suppliers with respect to raw material. Now if you see ration card, ration rice only you see, ration rice. We are having sufficient depots where we can get ration rice. And those people were connected with the suppliers of the rice. Depots are connected with the ration rice suppliers. These people are connected with farmers. The chain is connected, everything is connected and fixed. So particular state farmers will supply ration rice, and ministries they will buy it and they will dispatch, they will dispatch through various departmental stores. So like that, raw material procurement support service, product marketing, credit rating of a buyer, credit rating of a buyer, technology acquisition, adoption of modern management practices. So all these are support services. Main one is supply of goods and services. Incidental services, procurement of raw material from where, at what prices, how to market your product, how to identify the buyer's credit rating. And next one, acquisition of technology, import of new machineries, purchase of new machineries, adoption of modern business practices. NIC operates nationwide through 9 zonal offices, 39 branch offices, 12 sub offices, and 5 technical service centers, 3 technical service extension centers, 2 software technology parks, 23 business development extension offices, and 1 foreign office. This is like analytical information, analytics, data analytics, like that, analytics information. Just write one point here. For remembering, just write one point. Small manufacturer gets raw material through NSIC and markets product via NSIC trade fairs. Small manufacturer get raw material through NSIC and markets product via NSIC trade fairs. For MSMEs people, there is one portal called there is a portal called GEM portal. GEM stands for Government E-Marketplace. If you enroll your business entity in this portal, what happens? Time to time, whenever government need particular material which you are supplying, government will directly place order with you. So procurement preferential policy, public procurement preferential policy is implemented through these portals, GEM. So when you are filing contracts, when you are filing bids with government for any government works, government will ask a GEM certificate. If you are having GEM certificate, they will give priority to you. That is also one website, GEM portal, Government E-Marketplace. Next one, digital MSME scheme. For this, best example, Vyapar app, Joho Books, Kata Books. You have seen these advertisements. A traditional seller maintaining a record of each and every buyer, how much they are purchasing, how much they made a settlement. So if a particular buyer is asking, so what is outstanding due? No, he's opening a book, going through the record, counting. It takes a lot of time. Customer will have everything except patience. Yes or no? Today every one of us will have a lot of things except patience. So for faster providing of services, that person, he shifted the approach from regular book to Kata book or Vyapar app. In case of Vyapar app or Kata book, you will find customer ledgers. In that ledgers, you will find outstanding dues. Whenever you raise a invoice, automatically that amount will be debited to that customer account. Whenever he give amount to us, we will credit that amount. So you will find only outstanding dues. So that's what, a local MSME unit installing these apps, doing business online is nothing but digital MSME scheme. Digital MSME scheme launched to improve information and communication technology in MSME helps MSME to adopt ICT. ICT means information communication technology tools. ICT means information, above only it is there. ICT means information and communication technology in production and business processes. Like I told you, reorder level, reorder quantity, everything if system is taking care of, then human errors with respect to reorder quantity, reorder level will become zero. Service provided available through service providers for ERP, enterprise resource planning, accounting, manufacturing design, regulatory compliance including GST. No, for example, I think cloud clear tax is able to provide services with respect to compliance. Next, focus areas aims to create awareness, support e-platforms, provide literacy and training, and promote digital marketing in MSME sectors. Say for example, I'm a traditional teacher where I'll teach everything on a blackboard. I use it to write using a chalk place, white color substance, imagine. But due to this digital environment, focus has been changed from blackboard to e-board. If I don't know how to operate this Mac system, if I don't know how to operate this iPad, if I don't know about installation of these softwares, is it possible for me to provide still teaching services? No. So shift from blackboard to e-board, definitely some training is required. That is nothing but focus areas only. That is nothing but focus areas. Next, ECLGS, Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. This is an outcome of COVID pandemic. Atmanirbhar Bharat. First we will see it. ECLGS was launched to provide emergency credit support to MSME during COVID-19 crisis. Provides 100% guarantee coverage to the banks and NBFC for extending loans to MSME. See, first of all, banker will give you loan, no doubt at all. If you provide any asset as a security, banker will give a loan. But particularly with respect to business, banker will evaluate your projections, like how much turnover you can do in future, how much net profit you can earn. Based on that, he will calculate certain important ratios like interest coverage ratio, debt service coverage ratio. Some ratios he will determine, accordingly banker will give you loan. During lockdown, turnover will be definitely zero only, net profit will be negative only because of fixed cost. So this is very risky. During lockdown, giving loans is risky, but without loans, you tell me how it is possible for money circulation in economy. Looking at that situation, everyone having money, they reserve the money, they're not spending the money because of unpredictable future. If households are coming out and if they are buying the goods, manufacturers will get money. With that money, they can procure raw materials, they can do once again production activity. Households, they're reserving the money, they're not spending the money. Then you tell me how manufacturers get money. So manufacturers, they can get money only from banks. Banks doing this risk study, they stopped giving loans. If the loans are not provided, you tell me there will be no production. If there is no production, no salaries at all, no dividends at all. That means money circulation in economy will be stopped. If you are not able to pay salaries, that means since no work, no pay, how employees can survive in this world? So thinking all these factors, under Atmanirbhar Bharat, government announced this scheme. According to this scheme, government gave 100% guarantee to the banks. Whatever loans you are lending to the MSME, you lend it and we will cover 100% guarantee. That means what? Tomorrow that MSME unit, if it failed, unable to pay you 1 rupee also, no problem, we will pay that loans. So here, who is the guarantor? Who is the surety? Government of India is the guarantor. Government of India is the surety. Scheme extended till 31st March 2022. Why? Because 2020 first lockdown, 2021 second lockdown. And impact of second lockdown is very high compared with first lockdown. Number of cases also very, very high. So to offer continued relief to MSMEs, key features of the scheme: 100% guarantee on additional funds sanction, interest rate also 9.25% for banks and 14% for NBFC, very, very less, comparatively less. Maximum tenure 4 years from disbursement. Moratorium first 12 months. Moratorium means no need to pay installment for the first 12 months. Installment starts from 13th month onwards. Covers additional term loans and working capital requirements. So this is purely government accepting a responsibility. Government standing in the position of surety, giving assurance to the banks. If banks give money, money circulation will happen. Payment of wages to the employees. Employees will get money, so with that they will purchase the things. Again, free flow of money. If you observe carefully, we had only two people, producers, households. Producers will pay money against goods. Sorry, households will pay money against the goods they purchase. So initially money flow you can observe from households to producer, and producer again they will pay this money to the households. Sir, why they pay money to the households? Or a producer will pay money to the raw material supplier 1, labor 2, landlord rent 3, investors dividends 4. So producer will make only these 4 payments. Payments to the supplier for material. That means we had 4 factors of production, right? Labor, land, entrepreneur, materials. 4 factors of production. Do you remember? Material, man, land, and then entrepreneur. Entrepreneur will take share of profits. Raw material supplier. Next one, landlord will collect rents. Labor will take wages. Again, these amounts will be transferred to households only. Households again they will pay that amount for the goods and services. So this is like interdependent on each other. Free flow and interdependent. If one is getting affected, automatically other will be affected. During COVID, this got affected. From producer to households got affected. So when bankers are giving loans to the producers, again the flow will be continued. That's what the main objective of the scheme. Next one, secured business loan for MSME, that is SIDB, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, for development of small industries, promotes, develops, finances the MSMEs. SBL scheme provide faster credit to MSME in manufacturing and service sector, instant credit. And the key features of these loans, maximum loan 10 crores, maximum tenure 10 years. Foreign currency assistance is also available for tangible assets creation subject to natural hedges and conditions. Suppose import of machineries, where we need to pay amounts to whom? Foreign supplier. So simply SIDB is for term loan facilities. SIDB provides term loan facilities. Let me write term loan facility to whom? Term loan facility to MSME. This term loan facility includes not only domestic currency but also foreign currency. Next one, PMEGP scheme. Prime Minister Employment Generation Program is a credit linked subsidy scheme. Credit linked subsidy. 2 words here you have to understand. Credit, that nothing but you are taking finance, you are taking a loan from bank. Linked subsidy. Suppose you are taking a finance of 1 crore, subsidy some 30%. That means some 30 lakhs will be returned to you, and it will not be given to you by hand. That amount will be adjusted against loan outstanding balance. That means you will take 1 crore, but you will not pay 1 crore. You will pay only 70 lakhs only. So this will help in developing new employment opportunities. Aims to generate employment by establishing micro enterprises in rural and urban areas. Even you take paper plates business only, for example, paper plates business. Hardly some 5 lakh rupees worth equipment is required. If you are able to install this equipment, you can appoint one person who will take care of all manufacturing activities. You will appoint another person to take care of marketing activities. That means small unit able to provide how many jobs? 2 jobs. You are earning profits. These 2 people are earning salaries. Next one, 24th. Reservation policies for manufacturing and production sector. Reservation policies. As per Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951, certain items in a SSI sector, SSI means small scale industry sector, are reserved for government procurement. As I told you, 25% annual procurement is from MSME, right? So that is about this point, reservation policy. So local purchases should be 25%, domestic purchases should be 25%. Increase production of consumer goods in small scale sector, enhance employment opportunities by promoting small scale industries in remote areas, facilitate easy licensing and approvals for MSME. So once again, just look at the objectives. Increase production of consumer goods in small scale sector, enhance employment opportunities, easy licensing and approvals. Rajni sir, Shivaji movie, if you observe, for construction of that university, 200 departments, if I'm not wrong, 200 various permissions are required. That's why one mediator told, your project cost is 200 crores. Just pay me 2% commission. That means 4 crores. You'll get all the approvals in one day. Is it a legal way or illegal way? Illegal way. So government should not allow that kind of things. Government should create a system where easy adoption of licensing and approvals. Say for example, right now GST drive is going on. When you submit valid documents, you will get GST just in 1 hour. So those kind of programs, those kind of systems should be implemented. Next, priority. Enterprise that produce MSME registration certificate while applying for licenses, approvals, registrations from respect to authorities are given priority, and the process for them must be simplified. So particularly government contracts, like you take midday meals only, best example, midday meals. So to the government hostels, to the government schools, so government is inviting tenders for midday meals. One person, MSME background, he filed a tender. Now who should be given priority while accepting the tender? MSME, that's it. Next one, 25, last but one point. Special consideration on international trade fairs. Under International Cooperation Scheme, MSME get financial assistance for commission business delegated abroad. Yeah. Commission business delegated abroad. Technology infusion and upgradation, joint ventures and foreign collaborations, expanding market for MSME products. So handmade products, promoting handmade products outside India. Or even if you see Pushpa movie also, the sandalwood, the trees he is cutting and he's sending to Japan. In Japan, you can see how that raw material, that red sandalwood was used. So whatever things we are able to produce, whatever culture we are very rich at, so those goods do some promotions outside India also. Training. National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development promotes entrepreneurship and skill development. Key activities: training of trainers, management development programs, entrepreneurship and skill development programs, cluster interventions. So provide training facilities so that people will come to know about the various schemes. They will upgrade themselves. Next one, relief available to MSME sector. Relief available to MSME sector. Emergency working capital. 3 lakh crores emergency working capital facility for business including MSME was kept aside. During emergency situations like COVID pandemic time, this amount will be utilized for not interrupting the ongoing operations. Additional working capital finance of 20% of outstanding debt as of 29th February 2020, that is before lockdown only, 29th February 2020, at concessional interest rates. Suppose your outstanding term loan, for example, your outstanding term loan is 1 crore. Now banks under this scheme, under this relief scheme, banks give 20% extra finance. I can call it as top up loans. I can call it as top up loans. You take any loan from a bank, if you are making payment on timely basis, they will contact you after 1 year or after 1.5 years. They will contact you and they will tell, sir, we are ready to provide you additional finance. That additional finance or top up finance or additional working capital. So this is additional working capital, right? So outstanding loan 1 crore, additional they may give you 20 lakhs. This is additional loan only to meet emergency circumstances. Subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs. This is available for all MSMEs. This is available for all MSMEs. Whereas subordinate debt is only for stressed MSMEs. That is nothing but sick MSME, sick loss making. Provision of 20,000 crores subordinated debt for stressed MSME or NPS, non-performing assets. Government supports with 4,000 crores to the Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, that is CGTMSE. So they brought a scheme, CGTMSE, and for which they allotted how much money? 4,000 crores. Bank support. Banks to provide subordinate to the stressed MSME promoters equal to 15% of their existing stake. Suppose promoter stake is, promoter investment is, say for example 2 crores. 2 crores into 15%, how much? 30 lakhs. Banks will give additional finance of some 30 lakhs subject to maximum of 75 lakhs. And equity infusion through MSME funds, fund of funds, shortcut FOF, fund of funds. FOF corpus 10,000 crores operated via mother and daughter funds. Leverage 1:4 expected to mobilize total equity of about 50,000 crores. So 1:4, for every 1 rupee own fund we will invest 4 rupees. That means 1 plus 4, it will become 5. So 10,000 crores corpus fund is there. So this is equity infusion. Government will observe if this industry is compulsory, if this industry, if we don't help this industry, that industry will be closed. Lot of people will be affected. Many people maybe become unemployed. In that case, what government will do? Government will come, instead of giving loan, they will make investment in equity. So government will take ownership of these sick industries. So last point is all about, emergency credit relief. Clear? With this chapter over.